making fun of JP Morgan. JP Morgan opens crypto trading to all clients, while previous banks had offered crypto trading just to the rich clients, just to the ones that could take the horrible risks that come from investing in a Ponzi scheme like cryptocurrency that's so obviously tied to drug dealers and ne'er-do-wells, assassins, the underworld, the dark web. Cryptocurrency created by a shadowy inventor, an unsigned, unknown man, woman, or team of people. And yet now, Jamie Dimon's well-established JP Morgan US Bank is providing all of their wealth management clients access to that dirty Bitcoin and other dirty cryptocurrency funds. Let's see, Dan Eve, your thoughts on JP Morgan suddenly opening up to Bitcoin?
Well, there was right from when Jamie Dimon said it was a fraud or something, and then within the next week, price dumped, and then the Swedish arm of JPM bought a load of Bitcoin contracts or XBT contracts or something. You could tell that there was a bit of market playing. He's just another Elon. He knows what he's doing. You can imagine as well, like, I think wasn't it his daughter that was really into it, so there's no way that she wasn't hammering every dinner time, going, "Oh, come on, Dad, come on, just buy some freaking Bitcoin." But he U-turned like everyone else, like they all do. What's interesting is that they're the first bank to provide everyone now, not just the high net worth, which is cool. We've moaned about that before when banks do finally start allowing it, and uncensoring the ability to buy Bitcoin via themselves or whatever, facilitating it. It's just been high net worth, and it's only allowed to be 2% of your portfolio. And so, it's a good thing that at least they're opening it up to everyone. It's not direct Bitcoin though, right? It's kind of funds from what I gather. So it's kind of not quite the same, but it's kind of people dipping their toes into the pool. They buy a bit, they sort of get a bit excited. They go through the roller coaster of it shitting the bed and then being like, no, and then it going back up and then being like, yeah. So they get on board. Then they start doing the research and then why am I going to have JP Morgan hold my coins? I'm going to hold them all myself. But they also, what's quite interesting is that they're not allowed to recommend it, right? So they can't actually recommend it. So you can imagine how the calls go. They're like, sorry, did you say invest in Bitcoin? No, I said I have to rest due to a split groin. Oh, no, because now you're actually you're able to invest in Bitcoin. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Well, thanks for mentioning it. I didn't mention it, you mentioned it, but we can facilitate it for you. So I'd love to hear some of those conversations now. Good that they're opening up the floodgates finally.
So Jamie Dimon's daughter recommends it, but Jamie Dimon, professional banker who makes millions of dollars every year, told you not to buy. He should return his salary. That seems like fraud, unless he washes the floors really well at Citibank. What does he do? Ugly old goat, your thoughts on JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon completely eating their lunch in front of everyone?
Well, does that mean that I can reopen the Chase bank account that they closed on me?
Expect a call any minute now. They'll be on the phone and conciliatory.
They closed me down because apparently I was buying crypto on the kit, and I got, where's my bank account? Well, I wonder if I suppose if I buy on JP Morgan, it's going to be my keys, right? Oh, or isn't there a thing, not your keys, not your Bitcoin? Oh, I think there might be more to this than we're looking at on the surface. When I buy this stuff, where am I going to hold it? Did they answer that in the article? I didn't see that anywhere. Did you?
You can trust Uncle Jamie. He won't rehypothecate you.
Oh, I feel fine now. I don't need toilet paper anymore.
It's those big words. You got to know the jargon. Josh Shigala, any more financial jargon for us?
Yeah, look, JPM. The thing is, Ugly touched on it. a little bit there. When we have another massive, scary banking crisis, they're going to bail themselves in with those funds to save themselves. They say, oh, well, not your keys, not your money. They can use that. Same with HSBC. They own the gold ETF, the major gold ETF. So they just bail themselves in. If you own an ETF, it's not allocated bullion. You're buying a certificate. And this is the same thing with this Bitcoin. Not only that, JPM, for those that don't know what a short is, just a quick explanation here. How you make money on the market going down is you borrow the funds from someone else, you sell it at that price, you wait for it to drop, and you buy it back. Now, that's a great actual function of the market. It's an important function of the market because it allows you to bet on something on the way down if something's overpriced. What a really fraudulent market is naked short selling, where they don't even have to borrow it. They just sell it. They just sell something that they don't have, put downward pressure, sell pressure, which crashes the price. This is how they destroy like silver and stuff. And we have great reports on how JP Morgan destroying the silver price to keep it suppressed. So, you know, I don't trust these people. I don't trust them with Bitcoin. I think it's just part of it, part of mass acceptance that these banks eventually come on board and they play all their normal games. The fact of the matter is there's only 21 million. If they can't play these games too long. So when they do crush the price, when they do crush it, don't think, oh, Bitcoin's a failed experiment. No, buy it. Buy that dip, everything you can, because they are.
Exit question. How long before we see Bitcoin signs in the windows at banks? How long before banks are advertising with Bitcoin? 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years? Dan Eve.
I think the rate they're like closing down all the branches, it will never see it hanging in the window. So yeah, so I think they should continue to close down the branches and retire themselves, whilst the online e-money, it's not as it actually, but Bitcoin, the real like internet like money for the people, the World Wide Web money, that's P2P. That's where the money's at. Like so, I don't see the need for banks much longer. So I doubt we'll ever see a Bitcoin sign hanging in there, sadly.
Ugly old goat, will the banks advertise with Bitcoin?
Well, I hate to say it, but I have to agree with Crypto Raptor. There's a wide varieties of opinion within the Bitcoin standard movement. And some people think that Bitcoin is going to become the world reserve currency. I'm of the opinion it never will be. And in fact, I don't think we even want it to be. And I think F.A. Hayek kind of outlined it correctly. He says, when he talked about competing currencies, he wasn't talking about competing standards like we have now with all these shitcoins trying to want to be the standard, but he saw the development of one standard that competed with government standards. So I think it's much more likely that banks, government fiat banks, will return to gold before they will come to Bitcoin. And I think in that sense, Bitcoin can actually keep the gold standard honest, because it's kind of your escape money. I mean, I would love to be doing business in a country that had sound money. I mean, this thing in El Salvador is going to be so exciting, because it could become the Hong Kong of Latin America. It really could. And so we want to, that's where we want to be moving. I just don't see Bitcoin as being the reserve. I don't think monetary theory supports it. I think that's a lot of wishful thinking within the Bitcoin. I would call them Bitcoin fundamentalists.
Josh Shigala.
I don't know about the banks not being able to. I've been doing that for years for them. There's always an ATM with a Bitcoin sticker on. I don't know. I've been trying to help them out here. But no, look, retail banks, they will definitely start helping out with Bitcoin, because that's how they make money. They offer products. Banks don't make money anymore. Retail banks I'm talking about, called JP Morgan and stuff, they play with the markets. But the retail banks, they make money on loans. And The interest rates, the negative interest rates in Europe here, it's very difficult. They have to sell insurance products. They have to sell all sorts of wacky products in their systems. So when you log into the website, it's like they just try to sell you other stuff, and the money transfer side of things is like a bait to get you in, basically. So yeah, they'll definitely. I know a couple of banks already that offer Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin through them. So yeah.